Hey guys, it's June and Eric.
What? I've been here for like
so
5
long.
years.
Seriously, I cannot remember the last time you were in a video. Was it when I got my braces off?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been just me for a while.
Yeah.
Sad face. So today we are here to do something new. I have been talking about braces for so long that I'm kind of like burnt out and I want to do something new. By the way, I look a lot taller than Eric because he's
I'm
like...
slunched over. It's okay,
he's like,
guys. I'm like way up here, okay?
I know. You're like 5 inches taller, but right now, should I like scoot down with you? Horrible posture. No, just kidding. Anyways, we want to talk a little bit about our story. So...
We met. The end. What do you guys think?
That's like the super Reader's Digest condensed version of that. No, we actually have an amazing story. One that we could have never imagined in a billion years. It was such a God-written love story that I mean, we can tell the story, but I can't even begin to express like how amazing it was. Because we were a part of it, but we didn't force it. We didn't compromise. We didn't settle. Like, it was amazing. So, without further ado, we're going to share our story. And we're going to do multiple parts because as we were kind of like discussing like all the different facets and everything, and we want to do the story justice, we realized it's going to be longer than like a 10-minute video. So, we're going to just start with part 1, which was meeting online and thinking each other were catfish. And if you don't know what a catfish is, it's an imposter. It's somebody...
Okay. Think Autobots and Decepticons. Decepticons are catfish. They look like one thing, but they're completely something else. So she thought I was a catfish.
I did.
And I thought she was a catfish.
Yeah. And so, with that being said, a little sneak peek. So, I will tell my side and then you can tell your side. And I made him do this and he just got home from work not long ago.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If I look really tired, that's fine.
Okay, so I had just gotten out of a really bad relationship at the end of 2012. And I had dated so many stupid people. I was horrible at dating. I always picked the wrong people and it was just really bad. And I always had to like force the relationship to semi-work out and it never did. Big shocker there. So my mom came to me and it was around Christmas time and she was like, hey, I know you just got out of a really bad relationship, but I was just thinking, you know, you should try Christian Mingle when you're ready to get back out there because, you know, I met Bob, which is my stepdad, online, and it worked out really well, and we used Match, but we agree that Christian Mingle is a really good option, so, you know, when you're ready, no pressure, but you should check this out. And, of course, me being, like, a split-second decision maker, I was like,
Fly by the seat of your pants.
Maybe, and, like, you can't just implant an idea and me not, like, completely OCD focus on it. So, it was definitely God, like, let me just say that, but I was like, okay. So it was the end of December and like early January, I was like, all right, I'm going to try this out. So I log on, my first time ever on a dating website ever, and I made my profile and ask you like a billion questions.
Yeah,
so many questions, like your preferences in like a mate and like all these questions about yourself. So I put it all out there and I was so clear in my profile. I am not looking to date. Period. Done. And everyone I tell this story to goes, wait a second. Why would you be on a dating website if you're not looking to date someone? And here was my theory. If a guy cannot talk to me and have just a conversation and get to know me as like a friend without a romantic interest, then, you know, like, or romantic hidden motives, then I don't want anything to do with him. Nothing. I was so, like, he can attest to it. I was, like, walls up, guarded, super standoffish. One of the first things I said to him was, don't be an idiot, don't like me. Like, It's not happening.
And if that's not a cry for help, I don't know what is. So let me show you my face.
Oh my goodness. So
Lock, stock, and barrel, guys.
okay, so that was my yes, we are married. That was my history with Christian Mingle. So I logged on, made my, profile, and away we went.
Yeah, let me hit you with some reality here. Mine is a little different. I was on like every dating website under the sun for like 3 years.
Yes.
Found like catfishes, cave trolls, Decepticons, like every single type of person that you would not want to meet or who you tried to meet and turned out to be someone completely different.
He had a horrible experience.
Yeah, I got catfished and it was really bad.
Yeah, so someone pretended to be someone they weren't, and it was awful. And thank God you're alive and like weren't murdered in an alley. Because he's from Chicago, you guys. So like highest murder rate in the country. Yes. So you were on and off for like 3 years on all these sites.
And it never worked out. And like I ended up finally like this last time that I was on when coincidentally you were on was after like I was like, you know what, God, like this isn't working. Forget it. If you want this to work, you're gonna have to make it work. Because like I'm like I'll keep it up here, whatever, but I don't have any more hopes or expectations for this.
Yeah, we both like entered into this literally with God. Like we both like had like ultimatums with God. Mine was like, okay, God, like you're gonna have to bring him to me. Like you're gonna have to wrap him up and put a bow on his head and bring him to my door if you want me to get married, because I'm done dating. I will not date. And so I logged on, and you can search by radius, so how far away people are from you. And I searched like 25 miles and 50 miles and 100, then 150 and 200 miles. And I kept getting messages from people who were like 65 years old that lived like an hour away from me. And I was like, you're the age of my grandfather. Please leave me alone. And I was so like weirded out by all these people. But I ended up, it was late one night. I happened to go on, and this was like my third day on this site, and honestly our church had done a fast of media, so like social media. They wanted us to spend time with our families and spend time in the Word, so like I made the account, and then they did this fast, and so I was only actively on the site for 3 days. I had a total of 10 days, but for a week I didn't touch it. It just sat. So at the end of, so on my third day of actually using it, I ended up opening up my search to the whole United States. I was like, let's just see who my top pick is in the whole United States. It was this guy. He hit every single preference, because you have these preferences, right? He hit my height preference. He hit my build preference. Like, I wanted him to be, like, I mean, I didn't know what I wanted, but I had a preference of, like, I want a guy taller than me, and I want him to have, like, this body style, and all these things. And I remember reading his profile and just being blown away, because it showed his humility. It showed his love for Jesus. Y'all,
that was like 900 drafts in the making right there.
I didn't know that.
That was a work of Shakespeare.
Well, you had 3 years.
Yeah.
Right? I had like 2 days, so I'm surprised you even liked my profile. But I just remember showing it to my mom like the next day. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So I looked at his profile and then went to bed. Like, I didn't message him. I didn't reach out to him. Nothing. So you log on.
Yeah, I think it was probably like that night.
Yeah, because you were an hour behind.
Yeah, also, I didn't wake up in the mornings. Like.
Yeah, you slept till like 2 p.m.
Yeah, no kidding.
So you logged on.
So I logged on, saw that she viewed my profile.
Because it tells you who views your profile. Like, it shows you, oh, so-and-so viewed your profile, blah, blah, blah.
And
so you saw this
pretty good looking lady who was like 6'1", and I was like, whoa.
And back then I had platinum blonde hair.
This is true. And I just like the way.
And you were not a paid subscriber, so you have the option to not pay, because he's apparently on like 80 sites.
Yeah.
I was a paid subscriber, but I didn't find out until after we were married that you were not actively like. So he couldn't message me, y'all. Like he couldn't send me anything, but he could send me a smile. And so
I said, hey, how you doing?
With a smile, just with a smile. And so I log on the next morning and I see that this guy has smiled at me. So I just send a smile back. I'm like, okay, I guess we're playing the emojis game. This was before emojis were really cool, okay?
That's true.
And then you saw that I smiled back at you.
And I subscribed.
And he ran for that credit card and he paid his subscription. And at that point, I took the computer to my mom and I let her read the profile. And she just stopped and she's like, I like him. Because I was super open with my mom at this point. I decided that I was horrible at dating and picking people.
Yeah, they no longer talk at this time.
No, weird.
But back then, she was super open.
Okay, we're like best friends. People
Yeah,
were like best friends. But all my other dating relationships, I kind of like never talked to my mom about it. And she was always like a great sounding board. And I always knew I was dating the wrong people. So I like never involved her. But with Eric, like the whole process with him, I had her feedback and I really respected that. So anyways, so we talked via Messenger because he paid. And we had the most ridiculous, like looking back at our messages,
No, they're really dumb.
So dumb, but they were so funny.
Oh, what's your favorite song?
Yeah.
What are your favorite lyrics in that
because
song?
your band, your username was Reliant K, which is one of my all-time favorite bands ever.
For sure.
Which was another like ding, like bonus. And so we were talking on Messenger, and then I was like, listen, I will not be catfished. You could be this like 300-pound woman for all I know who stole some dude's pictures. I was like, you're going to FaceTime me. I was like, you got an iPhone? Because at first we messaged on Christian Mingle and then I was still getting messages from other people. So I deleted it. I was like, I'm getting off Christian Mingle. Here's my email. Mm-hmm. And we emailed for like a day and a half or 2 days. And I was like, okay, we're going to do FaceTime because I'm making sure that you're not a serial killer or a woman.
Which, while nerve-wracking, did work out really well. This is a baby monitor, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, we're making sure Everett's not screaming bloody murder. Yeah. But we ended up, he called me on the phone. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, you have an iPhone. Let's FaceTime. Hey, here's my dog. Here's my mom. I was like walking around my house. But it was awesome. And that is how we met.
Yeah.
And it was the start of a crazy adventure, and that is only part of our story. It gets even crazier as it goes.
Way crazier, way cooler. God just like steps in even more. Mm-hmm. So that is just a little snippet of how we met. And I just think it's awesome. Everyone who hears our story is like, oh, gotta go make an account on Christian Mingle or on, Match.com or eHarmony. And we're like, no. Disclaimer, this does not happen to everyone.
This is not like,
it's
Jesus.
And
we didn't even like sell our story to them. We didn't even.
Yeah, we never told them about it. So maybe through this, maybe we can like share it.
Yeah, because we're a success story. But that is part 1 of how we met.
4 years strong.
Yes, and counting.
Part 2 coming up. What's part 2?
Part 2 is silence.
Silence. Yes.
Silence. Radio
silence. Stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for that. So thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't already, be sure to like this video and hit subscribe. We're Scribbles and Wits, and we'll see you later. Sorry. Bye, guys.